Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Jets Radio. This is one of your hosts, Tyson Roush. The off-season is here. The Super Bowl is over. Now we can talk about real things other than fantasy land. At Talk Jets Radio, Instagram and Twitter. Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube. Mr. Tyrone, how are you, man?
What's going on? What's going on, big dog? Super Bowl over. Getting ready for March 17th. Free agency, baby, in the direction of the New York Jets, man. You know, you guys out here wilding on Super Bowl Sunday, man. Having a whole chaos.
About.
Yes, sir. Setting down the market, baby. 45, 50,000 views, man. What's going on, man? Like, I'm just trying to be like you when I grow up, man. What am I doing wrong here, bro? Prime time out here.
But the question I have for you is, who did you vote for? Let's bring Primetime on here. I know Primetime wants to talk about this. Primetime, did you see that Tyrone initially wasn't going for you? He was rooting for Jay.
Hey,
I did see that. I did see that. He had some nice words to say about my steak, but I believe his final vote was for Jay. So I was a little disappointed to see that. I'm not going to lie. Especially since I gave Tyrone a vote of confidence. I said, he's been picking up his game the last couple of weeks, bringing a lot to the show on Tuesday night. So I was a little disappointed to see that. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I'm going to say this, Primetime. I'm going to keep it real at all times. Jay's steak looked amazing. Yours looked good as well. Your wings were absolutely bright. I wanted some. So,
okay, I'll take that.
I gave you round two. But Jay's steak looked good.
Here's what I think happened. I think my steak tasted better. Jay's presentation was better. I think his wings probably tasted better, but my presentation was better. So I think we kind of flipped it around a little bit.
Yours looked good, though. Like, yours looked like I could just dip them in something and keep moving. But what I suggest we do is, when they open it up for us to go back, L7, J, Primetime, live cook-off, and I'll taste the food. How about that?
See, so what you're saying is, but see, Primetime, have you learned a pattern with Tyrone, though? Because somehow it always comes back to him. So now he wants to benefit from the cook-off where he gets to eat the food. You see how this works with him?
I mean,
any way that he could benefit. But probably charges too to judge it.
I'm kind of mad because, y'all got that good-ass steak in there, man. Can't nobody eat the shit but y'all. That junk looked amazing, bro. Like, I was like,
basically, what you're saying is, in summary, what you're saying is, you're not happy that Primetime and Jay can enjoy the food because since you can't enjoy it, nobody should enjoy it.
Wow. See, you know what, Tyson?
That's what it sounds like.
Isn't that what you just said, Kevin? That's exactly what it
sounds
like.
What he said. Yep.
We're going to go away from this negativity today because,
you're the one bringing it there.
I'm just saying that the food looked amazing. And that's all I'm going to say. And if they ever want to do it live, I'd like to be a part of it. That's all I'm saying, Tyson. What about you? What you cook, Tyson?
So listen, see, there is a moderator. Somebody's got to moderate all this. So now, are you challenging Jay and Are you challenging Jay and Kevin to a kickoff? Is that what I hear now?
No, because my shit would have been burnt halfway through it. So no, not at all. I'm volunteering my service to taste it.
So what exactly are you bringing to the table then? Is the question.
I'm gonna bring the beers when they're thirsty. I'm gonna bring the beers and pull shots for them. That's what I'm gonna do, and drink some and go myself. But I'm just saying.
Basically, you're gonna be like Steve at the tailgate. You're Steve Part 2.
I'm sexy, so I could never be Steve. You could never confuse me.
I don't see you pushing those sleds on Instagram and shit. I don't see none of that.
He's pushing weight.
I didn't see no blocks on the sled though. Look at the empty sled to me, but I'm just saying, I'm from the outside looking in.
He was pushing air sled.
I ain't see no bars on the sled. I just see the empty ass sled go across. You know what I'm saying?
He's going against the wind. That's right.
But I ain't knocking Steve though. Steve
his own
doing
wind.
his thing. Like maybe me and Steve can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Who makes the better one? Volume 1.
So Tyrone, the second question I have for you is, since there was a cook-off debate, what did you think about our musical guest? We revealed our new musical director on Let's Talk Jets. Did you see Elias perform?
Yo, listen, man. Elias.
He didn't listen to
all
him.
I'm saying is this, man.
This is ridiculous.
All I'm saying is, can Tyrone get some love, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all having the live streams. Tyson don't invite me on. You know what I'm saying? Prime time cooking.
You've been invited on every live stream. You're always driving. Are you volunteering your musical services?
We asked about the musical director, and somehow it's about Tyrone again. How's it always going back to you? This is truly a Hollywood moment.
Because y'all got kangaroos jumping around and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's just like y'all wilding on the show, man. I be like, yo, Tyson's not here, being nice for a moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But anyway,
did you like our musical guest? Is my question.
Tyson.
I think he's saying he could have did a better job.
I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna waffle today. I'm gonna take the waffle for $200 there, Alex.
So you don't like our musical guest, okay? So I thought he was phenomenal. So now you're gonna discount talent. I mean, this is prime time. I gotta be. I mean, this is not a really good performance from Tyrone right now. There's clearly no I in team, and this is what we're hearing right now.
Hey, but listen, you know what Kobe? Hey, listen, you know Kobe say ain't no I in team, but it's an ME in that motherfucker though. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. Don't treat me like that, Tyson. This is definitely going to be a problem. So Tyrone,
this is a whole
what
did you think?
This is an awful start to the show. What did you think about the Super Bowl, man?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not think Kansas City would get their ass kicked like that. I didn't think they would get manhandled like that. Honestly, all jokes aside, man, like I really expected a better game. I think Todd Bowles did a phenomenal job, man. I think that he really just, he coached a hell of a defensive game. I didn't like the calls, man. Like, I didn't enjoy that aspect of it because it seemed like the calls were more one-sided to me. But hat goes off to the GOAT, man. You know what I'm saying? They were the better team, but I did not expect, you know what I'm saying, Kansas City to look that bad. But at the end of the day, when you got two tackles out and you got a guard, you know what I'm saying, like you're looking at what's going on and you're seeing what's happening. You watch them dogs in the end were coming after them. So, I mean, I was disappointed, man.
Were you happy for Todd Bowles?
I was happy for Todd Bowles. Fuck Brady. I'm just going to be real with you. There's no love for him. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to call him the GOAT because that's what he is. He's probably the greatest quarterback we probably ever seen in our lifetime, hands down. But, yeah, Todd Bowles, Steve McClendon, man, I was happy for them guys, man. You know, like I said, man, they did a hell of a job, man. Like, Tampa Bay and all, man, they did their thing. And then it's so crazy, man, is Tom Brady just picks a random fucking team, goes there and they go to the Super Bowl, man. This shit is just crazy, bro. Like, you see how nuts that is to me? Like, you know what I'm saying? This was, like I said, he's the best to ever do it, man.
So, Tyrone, there's slowly but surely, there's some news coming out. Obviously, everybody wants to talk quarterback, but there was some links to a center, which is interesting because if we go back to our shows over the past year, I'm not a really big fan of Connor McGovern, and the Jets are being linked to Packers center Corey Linsley, which is fascinating. What are your thoughts on that? This is going down the path I definitely want to go down.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really buying that, and I'm going to tell you why. Like, Joe Douglas has kept nothing but a tight ship, man. Like, we've had no leaks, period. So, like, you know, I mean, if we upgrade McGovern and move McGovern over to guard and have a good backup center and then draft one for the future, I'm all for that. But
wait, what?
It's hard. If we move McGovern over to guard, and we bought in another center, move McGovern over to guard, and then draft one in the draft to be our future.
Yeah, but if you sign Corey Linsley, you ain't drafting a center, man. That's going to be your long-term answer, isn't it, Primetime?
Well, he's 30 years old.
He's got probably 5 good years left in him.
Yeah, you're not going to sign him to a 4 or 5 year contract, a 30-year-old center.
Yeah,
you're not.
You know, you're going to get his backup behind him. No, I don't think so either. Like, he's 30. Like, they want to have a younger team.
What was the contract that Mitch Morse and who was it, Paradis, when he was a free agent? Didn't they sign for both like 3 years, 4 years, something like that?
4 years. Yeah, 4 years. Yeah. So, you know, just like the receivers.
I'm still not drafting a center, with any of my premium picks. I'd probably focus on another tackle to potentially replace Fant and/or wide receivers or edge or corner. I mean, there's a number of other areas. If you get your center now, I mean, you're probably good for at least 2 to 3 years.
No. I'm talking about a development center though. I'm not talking about taking one with the prime picks. I'm talking about later on in the draft. That's what I'm talking about. Like I think that like everything that we draft in the draft is going to be like, especially if they take offensive linemen. I love to get that kid from Ohio State. I would love to get that kid's guard and then bring in somebody like Tooney or Sheriff. I would love that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but for me, this makes a lot of sense. Like, if you're going to keep Sam, if you're going to trade for Watson, if you're going to draft a rookie quarterback, you need an anchor at center. You need a reliable person at center. And honestly, I don't think McGovern's that guy. We've had questions about it, and we've all said, you know what, he's got to stay this year because of his contract. But if you keep him, move him over to guard, I'd feel a lot better about that. I still consider Elflein another guy that they had, maybe re-sign him. You go out and sign 30, but like that seems like quantity because Elflein is versatile. He played center too. So you have some options. Like if they address center and free agency, dude, I'd be happy about it, to be honest with you. We need an answer there, and I'm not sure McGovern's that guy.
And Elflein played good towards the end of the season. So I mean, but do you want him to be your starter this year though? That's the question. Or would you rather replace him with somebody? What did they win after Tooney? Like that's an upgrade all the way across. Absolutely. So I mean, like to me. I actually feel like our offensive line is coming around. Like if they draft anybody, if they draft someone in the second round or third round, they drafting a replacement for Fant.
But see, this is where I'm going with this, and this is what I'll ask you guys. If you look at these options that are popping up, say you go for Lindsley or you have Elflein, you have all these different guys, doesn't that kind of offset the notion of going Penei Sewell at 2?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, if you see a lot on him, I hear a lot of scouts talking about him, he'd be better suited, you know what I'm saying? He could be switched over with the guard.
Sewell?
Yeah, but at 2?
No. No. I'm not taking him at 2 anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, my dream scenario. No. I was reading something last week, a week before last. No. I mean, he's going to be a tackle. I'm just saying, they were just saying with his footwork and stuff like that, it's going to take him a while. He could be suited as guard later on in his career or in the league. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of good players coming out in this draft that I think that can really, really help. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially guard players that you can get.
Yeah, but I guess my question is because the first thing, like I understand we want to talk draft, but right now free agency is staring us in the face in about a month, and I think that the Jets are going to make a strong push to do the offensive line. Like, Thuney's the name because everybody thought we were going to get him last year. The Patriots franchised him. That's the name that keeps going out there. But I think the Jets are going to be aggressive because they have the money and there's good guys out there. And then the draft can be kind of like a complimentary after that. So are you guys willing to make a splash for center? Are you making these splashes and say, You know what, in the draft we can go a different direction and get like receivers and linebackers and corners and everything else?
I'm still doubling down on offense. I'm hoping that the Jets can come away from free agency with 2 premium offensive linemen because, like you said, with McGovern, he didn't really, I think, solidify himself. So I think he's a question mark beyond this year. And I think the same thing with Fant. I mean, he might have been arguably our best free agent signing because, I mean, the rest of them, are pretty much out the door already. But, he at least, I think, kind of performed above expectations. So it's like, all right, you give him another year, maybe see what he has. But as far as the interior goes, like, I like Elflein, but I feel like he's the perfect depth guy. He can fill in at center. He can fill in at guard. We've had multiple injuries, almost every single year. So you want to have a guy like that who can fill in and kind of, keep the offensive line whole. So, I think he's perfect in that role. But I'd like to upgrade the premium talent. So I'd like to get some of the top free agents, whether it's Tooney and Lindsley and, a couple wide receivers, and then you still have your options free in the draft. If you want to go even more offense, perfect. Like, we keep talking about the offense has been so far behind the past decade. Whoever the fucking quarterback is, I just want to surround them with so much talent, double down where injuries, whatever happens, like there's not going to be any excuse. You're going to have next man up and you're going to be fine.
I mean, for me myself personally, I don't care about splash players. I just want talent in the building. I think that, and listen, what I'm saying.
You a splash player?
I mean, listen, no. What I'm saying is I want talent in the building. Like, this draft, this free agency right here is going to be the best free agency for us in a really long time. It's a lot of good teams that are going to have to get rid of a lot of good players. We can have our premium choice of a lot of great players that we could bring in to make this team better. So why not do it?
Tyrone,
You know what I'm saying?
right now, there's one center that's looked at as, a premium starting caliber center, and that's Lindsley. So, I mean, do you make a run at him, especially if you're not really sold on McGovern beyond this year? Because after this year, you can get out from under a contract.
No, definitely. I mean, any player that we want, we can actually really go for and get this offseason. What I'm saying is like, like going for going for the big splash. Just, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Joe Douglas is going to do it like that. I think this free agency he's going to fill every hole with quality players. I'm definitely with that. I mean, I think I said it best earlier.
Wait, so you basically want to do the same approach as last year and try to fill all of your needs with a lot of low risk, high reward type signings? I'm more interested in some of the big splash guys. Give me the prominent receiver in Allen Robinson. Give me the best interior lineman in Tooney and Lindsley. Give me the top guys, and then I'll trust Joe Douglas to kind of draft around them. I don't want to take those low risk, high reward type chances again.
If you listen to me, Primetime, that's not what I said. What I said is this free agency is going to be a lot of good players that will get cut that will not be on the market prior to that. So we have our choice to pick and choose the best players. That's what I'm talking about. And
the best players are going to command top dollar. So if you're trying to fill all of your needs, if you're trying to fill all of your needs, you're not going to be able to do that.
Not necessarily.
We have needs everywhere. We have 3 building blocks on this roster right now. Maybe 3.
Prime time. So you're telling me, Prime time, in the year where the cap's going to be 180 and you got like 13 teams over the cap that, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to be able to get anybody we really want to? And we're going to have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't think so?
No, listen, I agree that they're going to be able to get some nice discount signings as, teams are forced to release some prominent players, maybe even trade guys, for mid to late round picks. There's going to be options to do that. But what I'm saying is when you have as much cap space as almost anybody out there, why not go out and get an Allen Robinson or a Tooney or the top guy at their positions?
Absolutely. And plus more. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's going to be like, it's not like, we got to go dumpster diving. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some really good players going to be let go that's going to be looking for a new home that can really come in and help us. You know what I'm saying? Building blocks for our future. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want Allen Robinson. I don't want Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't want his ass. For what?
Why not?
Nah, I don't want him. If I had a choice between Juju and Allen Robinson, it's no question who I'm taking, man. He's one of the best receivers in the league.
I think we're not agreeing on a lot tonight, are we?
No, I mean, it's just like I'm saying, it just doesn't make sense. Like this year right here is our prime opportunity to fix this damn team, bro. To get a lot of quality, good players in the building. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to go dumpster diving because it's wide open. There's nothing to go dumpster diving for. Teams are going to have fucking fire sales, and we need to be there with that checkbook and start stroking checks. Like, listen, we're going to tell how free agency is going to go. And what Joe Douglas does with our edges, our defensive end. That's what we'll know. When he starts looking at cornerbacks, that's when we'll know what he's going to do, what his plan is. He's definitely going to make a bid on something.
I mean, do you think his first move may be Marcus May?
I hope so. Absolutely. I mean, you got to lock Marcus May up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already let Jamal go. Marcus May wants to be here. You know what I'm saying? He's homegrown talent, man. You got to pay him.
Do you give him $10 million a year?
Absolutely.
Prime time?
Depends how many years. I would want to. I don't know if I would go 10 though. If it's like 4 or 5 years, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I mean, but you're not going to do the 4 or 5. What are you going to do? Like the 4 or 5? Do the 4 or 5 years? 3 years guarantees or shit like that. You wouldn't do that for Marcus May?
I probably would.
What do you think, Tyson?
3 years makes a lot of sense. I mean, I don't know, man. He's a little bit older, but I mean, he's definitely a leader, a captain, a respected guy.
I don't think you can lowball.
That's a good question.
I think if you lowball him, you insult him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He'll walk. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to be here. You understand what I'm saying? I have a feeling though that that's not going to be the first move. Like he's going to actually hit the free agent market. I think it's going to kind of go down like kind of how things happened last year with Jenkins and Poole and a lot of guys like that, where if they can come back at the right price,
I think it'll happen. If not, if he's able to get a lucrative offer somewhere else, he's probably going to go. Because I think we have other more pressing needs than free safety. Not that, he wasn't a leader on a shitty team. Not that he doesn't have plenty of upside. He's still relatively young, even though he's an older player, for his first contract. I just think Douglas is going to have, some other needs. He still wasn't a Douglas draft pick. So I think he's going to look elsewhere first. And then if Nate comes back, in their ballpark, maybe like $8 million, something like that, over 3 to 4 years, then maybe we have a deal.
Prime time, let me ask you a question. If you're Joe D, who's the first 3 calls you make? Who the first 3 players you calling?
Free agency? I'm probably going with Robinson, Tooney, and probably another lineman like Lindsey, actually, believe it or not. I think if you could get both those guys on the interior, and obviously if they're exploring it, I think they're probably not completely sold on McGovern. So if you can solidify 2 anchors, plus you have Becton on the left side, I mean, you're 3/5 of the way there. And then you get a number 1 wideout. You still have, the chance to take another wideout or 2 early on, which is another stacked class of wide receivers. So your offense is slowly coming along, just like that. I mean, you almost rebuilt it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Do you guys, a name that's been popping up a lot, especially at the Super Bowl, is Shaq Barrett. Do you guys make a big play for him?
I don't know, man.
Is he even going to hit the market?
Just say he does. I mean, they're torn between Godwin and Shaq Barrett. I mean, if they don't franchise him and he's out there, you make a play for him.
But, I mean, he's dominated, bro. He's straight dominated, like, for real. I honestly, right now, I would say no.
Would you rather pay a guy like him, I don't know, like $13 to $15 million a year, or would you rather take a flyer on somebody like Ngakoue or Jadeveon Clowney or even Judon, who might come in a little bit cheaper because he had a down year? I'm saying though, they would obviously come maybe like a 1-2 year flyer or something like that, where you can just kind of hold the fort as you address other needs.
So I would definitely go with Judon. I just think that him and Mosley together could wreak some havoc. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Like, I want some real bookends, man. Like, this draft is going to be really, really covered. It's a lot of DNs in this draft that could come in. The kid out of Pitt, Weaver, which is the Weaver, this kid could come in the 3rd round and start day 1. So there's a lot of talent in there. So, I mean, I don't know if I want to Shaq Barrett 15. Go ahead.
And Ngakoue's an interesting player, though, because he didn't really have the year that we all expected him to have, right? Didn't he have, 4 or 5 sacks this year or some shit?
At all.
Yeah, Minnesota traded, 2 seconds or something like that to get him, and then they dealt him for the depth.
Yeah, so. He didn't do shit, exactly. And so, they're going to franchise tag him. So, I mean, would you take a flyer on him on a 1-year prove-it deal, or would you try to lock him up for a few years?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's interesting because some of these guys, all these guys that, you're looking for all these flashy stats like Judon, Ngakoue, Clowney, none of them had the big numbers that you'd think that this big pass rusher you want to pay for. None of them had those big numbers.
I mean, why get these guys 13, 14, 15 million when you know what I'm saying, when you still got other pressing needs? Like, for me, I'd rather pay Allen Robinson $15 million to get him in the building than pay Shaq Barrett. I rather would.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I'd rather allocate the premium money at the wide receiver, offensive line, solidify those spots, and then if I'm going to take the low risk, high reward type signing, the flyer, the hold the fort guy for a year or two, somebody like Ngakoue might actually fit that. Because he might come in a little bit cheaper.
Like for me, I really want to get faster in certain areas on defense. Like, okay, let me ask you guys another question. I know y'all keep saying the Richard Sherman conversation. Like, what do you feel about that?
I think he's a perfect fit, dude. I think you're not bringing in a guy. He's not going to be a building block for the future. He's going to be a veteran, prominent leader, a captain, a voice in the locker room, a mentor, a role model player. Football IQ is off the charts. He could be a spokesperson for Salah, dude. It just makes too much sense, dude. And to be honest with you, I'd actually overpay to bring him here too, because I think the money is not all about what's on the field. It's going to be more about what's off the field and everything else. How he can help the Bryce Halls and the Javelin Guidrys and all these Ashton Davis. He could help all these guys, dude.
What kind of contract would you look at? What do you think it would get done to get him in the building?
What did he make this year? I don't know what he made this year. I mean, I'm
14.
I don't think he made a lot.
Like 14.
I don't think he made a lot because he negotiated his own contract, didn't he?
Hold on,
he did.
Let me check.
It was less than that. I think it was like 9. Hold on. Sorry, I have it right here. He made
3 years, $27 million, I think.
Yep.
It was less. Yeah.
Yep.
So basically $9 million per.
Yeah,
I give him $9 million this year.
Hell yeah!
Two years, $10 million. Yeah, $10 million per. I would do something like that.
Yeah, I definitely do $2 million.
Just for the leadership alone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because you know what you're getting with him, and then he knows the system. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be surprised if a lot of San Francisco former defensive players end up on our defense.
No, but see, he's got a tremendous amount of value just because he's still a good player. I mean, especially if they're going to play zone. He's still a ball hawk. He can do a lot of good things, but he is, like, we keep talking about it. Like, you know how Rex brought in Leonard and Bart Scott. I mean, guys always bring their players in. This would definitely be a Salah guy, and he's a guy that players look up to. This is the kind of guy when he walks in the locker room, Bryce Hall's like, holy shit, man, I had a poster of you. Like, these are guys like, you know, like how the players idolize. No, but seriously, like how players idolize Le'Veon Bell, they idolize Richard Sherman, dude. So I think it makes a lot of sense. But the question I have for you guys, and I was doing research on running backs because I know it's a conversation that we've had in the past, and it's like, what kind of running back do the Jets need? If Ty Johnson's kind of a speed guy, P. Ryan is kind of a little bit of everything, do they need like a bowling ball kind of guy, like a power back to get the short yards? Like, what kind of guy do they need if you want to add a guy to the mix?
I mean, I'm going to be real with you. I'll go first with prime time. I like Ty Johnson. I like Ty Johnson. I like Ty Johnson definitely in this new system that, you know, we got coming in. I think that he'll really, really flourish like that. A zone scheme, you know, quick decisions, quick moves, quick cuts, nice lateral movement, man. I love what he brings to the table. I definitely want to also pick up another running back in the draft. I want somebody that's a little bit of both. I want someone that can definitely catch up the backfield. I really at first I wanted a kid from Alabama, but I just can't go that high for him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, I like Ty Johnson. I like P. Ryan. I like what we have. I like just one more piece. You know what I'm saying? What do you think, Prime Time?
Well, P. Ryan's going to be here, and so for me at least, I'm not going to say anything negative about Ty Johnson. I think he showed some flashes, but he's not coming into training camp as anything more than like my fourth running back on the depth chart, because we should at least sign somebody. You know, whether that's, I'm kind of looking at some of the names, you know, Tevin Coleman, Philip Lindsay could be on the market. You know, I'd like somebody who can catch the ball out of the backfield, you know, who's a little bit versatile. If you look at the way the Niners ran things, they pretty much used all three of their backs almost, you know, all the time, in and out. So, you know, I think we're going to have kind of like that three-headed monster. So P. Ryan is going to be part of it. You sign a free agent, and then you draft another guy, you know, somewhere probably rounds 3, rounds 4.
So do you go, in terms of free agency, but do you go like free agency, there's some big names, but like, for me, like, I don't want a Kenyon Drake. I don't want these older 28, 29-year-old running backs. I prefer the younger ones. You know, or you like, there's a guy like T.J. Yeldon's kind of interesting to me. You know, James Conner could be on his way out in Pittsburgh because he's always injured. Do you take a flyer on that? I mean, there's, you know, Jeff Wilson, a 49ers guy. He's 25, but he's a restricted free agent. Do you spend any kind of money, or are you looking for like this, like not like, you know, like a mid-tier guy?
What about James White? Steal him from the Patriots?
Another guy, another versatile guy. Yep.
I like him out of the backfield too as a receiver. So
part of me wants Mark Ingram because I like him, but I'm just
he's more of that bowling ball type though.
Yeah, exactly.
But Mark Ingram's also a leader, dude. He's a locker room guy too, though, man.
I don't want to spend money if we can draft. You know what I'm saying? Why not draft a young guy? So, I don't want to spend money.
Almost all these guys you're going to get for what, like a 2-year, like $7.5, $8 million contract? Like they'll make $3-4 million per year. I mean, it's not going to be anything crazy.
Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, man, you know, like why not? You know, like why not draft the running back? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying?
You can do both.
Get somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Do both. You have P. Ryan, you have your free agent signing, you have your draft pick in the mid rounds, and then you have Ty Johnson as your fourth running back. If somebody goes down, he slides in.
But you like P. Ryan more than you like Ty Johnson?
Well, that could be a competition. I don't think Douglas would part ways with a third-round pick after year one, but it's not out of the question. You can let him compete if P. Ryan doesn't show you anything.
No, I'm not saying that he would get rid of him. I'm just asking. I was asking your opinion on how you felt about him. You liked him more than you like Westland. That's all.
I mean, personally, you know, I think P. Ryan showed you a little bit, but not enough for me to say, like, I think he's going to be, like, you know, like a number one back, you know, like a 3-down back or anything like that. I think he can be part of, you know, like a 1-2 punch, but I don't think he's going to be the lead guy anywhere. He didn't show me enough like that.
What would y'all do if they brought back Frank Gore?
Jesus. Let's
I
not
gotta
go down
go
like
laughing
that.
somewhere, man. Yo.
He wants to play again.
Like
I think he's going back to San Fran, or at least he wants to.
Yeah, he ain't playing here. But I just think that, man, like, like this free agency, with so many players going to get cut, man, we really got a good chance to make some real noise, man. I'm excited about that, bro. Like, I really am. Like, I feel like we got the chance to really do some good things, man.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll go to our music director, Elias. What's up, man?
Yo, how you guys doing tonight?
What's up?
Am I getting your
bro?
name wrong, dude? I think I'm fucking your name up, right?
Yeah. So it's all good, man. It's Elias. Everyone gets it wrong. I've gotten so used to it that I just don't even bother correcting anyone.
Well,
I
correct us, dude.
I don't know why, but
you're our music director, dude. So it's
but
Elias.
now that I'm a part of the team, you got to know me on the correct name basis. So it's pronounced Elias. Don't worry about it. Everyone gets it wrong.
Don't fuck it up, Tyrone.
Nah, Elias, what's up, brother?
Tyrone, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man.
Go ahead.
Hey, say what you're saying, yeah?
Nah, I was saying, man, so what do you think the most important thing to do in free agency is going to be this year, bro?
Get a number one wide receiver and get at least one top offensive lineman.
Elias, I got to talk about something more important. Tyrone was not impressed with your halftime performance. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, it's not for everyone. Everyone's got their taste. I know I had a couple hiccups in there. Not everyone likes heavy music. I don't know what kind of stuff Tyrone's into, but you can't please everyone, man. Maybe send me some stuff you'd rather me play. I don't know. You can't please everyone.
Hey,
well handled. That's a very good answer right there.
Sir.
That's very well handled.
Attitude, man.
That's why we hired him.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. I love you regardless, bro. So you family. So don't worry about it, man. And just know, Tyson will trade on you one day. Just understand that.
I watched a bit of the live stream after my call, and you asked the caller if I'm going to go Hollywood and forget about you guys. Man, this is how I got my start, man. I'm never going to forget about you guys.
The same thing Tyrone said. Look what he's doing now. He's always talking about money and me. You see how he changed it about
Mr. Hollywood, man.
That's right.
Wow. Hey, Elias, you keep on talking that good stuff, man. When your check don't clear, don't say shit to me, buddy. That's all I'm saying.
So who is your top three wish list, man? If you had a perfect free agency, what would it be?
I mean, perfect free agency. This isn't going to happen, but Allen Robinson, Joe Thuney, and Shaq Barrett. There's no way in hell that's going to happen, but hey, man, I can dream.
That's fair. Well, I'm about dreaming too. What do you think, Prime Time?
I'm still going with my top wideout and my interior offensive lineman. I'm sticking all offense. Again, we're focusing on, maybe bringing some defensive players back like, Marcus May and Poole and guys like that. You can use some mid to late round picks in the draft for defense, but all my premium assets, all offense. Surround your quarterback with talent for the first time in forever.
Yeah, I understand that. I just think Shaq Barrett, he plays with, this wasn't like a fluke year. Like, he led the league in sacks, had a breakout year in 2019. You got to see if he could do it again. And he did it again. My only concern with him is that he's a stand-up guy. I don't know if he has experience playing, like, with his hands in the dirt. That's what a couple of these guys you guys were talking about. I don't know if Judon or Ngakoue, guys like that, play, hand in the dirt, down linemen. But if they have that versatility, then you just got to look into that. But, like, the thing with Shaq Barrett, too, is, like, he cleans up. Because, like, he's got two, stud defensive linemen. You got Vita Vea and then Ndamukong Suh. We got a bunch of stud interior guys, too. So if he can help clean up, like, he'd actually have a lethal defense.
Yeah, I do agree with that, too, man. That definitely makes a good point.
About time you agree with somebody.
Yeah, whatever, man. See how they treat me around here, bro? Talk to my attorney, man. I started to ask for some more money around here, bro.
Do you have any more, Tyrone? Do you have any new questions for our music director here? Because this guy, he's a rising star here, man. So we got to maximize his time.
And all I'm saying is this right here, man. Like, yo, listen. Welcome to the family. Just know, it will come a day where Tyson will turn on you. Just want to put that out there. Let you know.
Dude, all we do is give you the platform to spew out all your nonsense for 2 hours every Tuesday, and then this is how you treat us. We give you the big platform to let you just fire out your hot takes with no regards, because then you go off into your Never Land, and Primetime and I deal with all the aftermath, all the feedback, all the chaos. You got it made, man. Now you're spitting on us, Primetime. You believe this shit?
Tyson, I'm telling you, I give it 2 months. The Ty Johnson show will be live, and you know what? He'll start at 8 o'clock to try and get a half-hour jump on us now that we're at 8:30.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have you on every week, though, baby. I'm gonna have you. Listen, you heard of Eddie Ruffin and the Temptations? That's what I'm saying.
At least he's not denying it now. Then he's gonna ask our music director, be like, "Hey man, can you make me a song for my intro?" This is how he's gonna work. He's gonna try to use all of us.
Oh, I got you. That's my job,
like
man.
That. Oh, absolutely.
I'll make anyone
work on my. Yeah, I need my own intro and outro. Absolutely, baby. Let's do that. Let's work.
What
on
are we doing here?
Now he wants his own intro.
What the hell?
Playing.
Yeah, no, it's right.
Nah,
he didn't like
man,
your playing.
It's gonna be a great free agency, man, and I'm excited about.
he changes the topic. He doesn't want to do it. So you ask, you don't like his music, and then you ask him to do an intro song. That's not cool.
And then he found me, bro. Free agency. Then
they go
right back to free agency. Right back to Jets talk.
You know what, man? I'm tired of getting treated right here, man. I'm just getting mistreated right now. I'm sorry, man. My feelings are hurt right now, man.
So it's Elias, right?
Elias, yes.
Elias. Fuck, I gotta remember this. Elias, thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Thank you for your halftime show. It's phenomenal. We look forward to it. And unlike Tyrone, Primetime and I both appreciate you.
Of course. Thanks, man.
Wow.
You guys have a good
Always,
night.
man. Great stuff.
Have a good
Love
night,
you,
man.
bro. You have a good night, man. You know what, man? I'm going to tell y'all something real personal, right? I wasn't even going to do the show tonight.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. Nah, man. My uncle, man. He, he's in the hospital, and there's a good chance that he's not going to make it with COVID. So everybody be safe. But I needed this. I needed to laugh today. So I appreciate you, brothers, man. I love you, brothers, to death. And I just want to let everybody know, man. Just be safe out there, man. Just be careful, because
I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's terrible.
Thoughts and prayers for you and your family, man. Definitely, dude. And again, that's why we started doing the show. That's why, we love the interactions and everything. We're all going through some shit at some point, and it's a great fucking distraction to be able to laugh a little bit and talk about this game.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And it's the funniest thing, because, I know y'all give me shit, but it's nothing but love, though. You know what I'm saying? I need to laugh. You know what I'm saying? Tyson, Prime, you know we don't talk shit. You know what I'm saying? But Tyson, this is what he does. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, would you just say Primetime doesn't talk shit? Have you not been listening for the last 2 fucking years?
No.
I bob and weave. I throw my jabs and I get out.
Exactly. Primetime, he a slow shit talker. You know what I'm saying? But Primetime, all I gotta do, I can get Primetime back easily. All I gotta do is see Sam Darnold, and it's over for his ass right there. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we're not
go
doing
on a fucking 45-minute rant. No, exactly. That's why I'm not gonna do it. But I say one thing about Sam, boy. It's over. Primetime's done. You know what I'm saying?
The Darnold supporters were out in full force last night. They were letting Tyson have it until Jose put me in my place.
Yeah, I took care of them. But I just want to go back to how you say Primetime doesn't talk shit. He talks plenty of shit, dude. I don't. I get blamed for everything for some reason.
Tyson, because you give 0 fucks, Tyson. That's why.
That is the truest thing you said all night. Yep.
Tyson, you don't give a fuck how anybody. You just don't you're just gonna say what you gotta say. That's it. It's listen. Everyone who knows, listen, I was a fan of this show, bro. I called in every week, bro. Tyson, I done heard you man, bro. I felt bad for people fuck. They pick a fight, it's you be waiting on them, okay. Boom, uppercut. Down goes Frazier. It's shit. It's I be damn, y'all ain't learned. Y'all stop fucking with him. Y'all ain't learned. Stop picking. It's they pick on you. It's they come. It's like Steve, bro. It's Steve's been calling this show as long as I have. Steve just doesn't learn. He just doesn't care. So it's okay. Everyone's yo, man, don't pick on Steve. Yo, Steve picks on himself. He does this.
Do you see what Steve does now? Now when, like, Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, all these guys tweet out stuff, Steve is in there sending messages to them. Well, I don't think you're right. I don't think this. I'm like, who the fuck are you, dude? Like, look, I'm gangrene Steve-O, man. I'm telling you, I got my own sources. Like, what the fuck, man?
I love Steve, man. Steve
crazy,
is a great
dude.
caller, but man, like, Steve, he's one of those guys, man. I love Steve.
So in summary, you're giving Kevin a pass, and I get blamed for everything. So I see how this works now.
Nah, I got nothing but love. Tyson, I love when you get fired up. Like, when you were trying to do that nice guy shit, like, man, don't do that bullshit, bro. You can't.
Dude, I tried last night. I tried, ask Prime Time. I tried so hard last night to be nice.
No, you did.
I was nice for about an hour and a half.
I give you a lot of credit last night. You held back. There were some calls that even I couldn't defend, like some of the ways they were trying to defend Sam Darnold, but you held back. You were restrained. I was very surprised. I give you a lot of credit. That was a lot of growth from you.
See, Tyrone?
Until the bomb goes off. Then it's over. Like, it's just that one comment Tyson needs and it's just over. Like,
yeah, that was at the end of the show when we had the caller try and talk about Sebastian Janikowski. Tyson kicked him right off.
Do you know what's funny? Tyrone, this guy's trying to talk about drafting a kicker in the second round like Janikowski. I'm like, dude, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm fucking done. I hang up on his ass. I got like five nasty messages, but like, bro, why did you do that? I'm like, we just did a live stream for 3 fucking hours. You want to talk about a kicker in the second round? I'm out, dude. Like, I'm not putting kickers in the second round. I'm not doing it. Fuck that. So we're going to go to Mike in Jersey City. Mike, I'm sure this is going to set us off the rails here. So, Mike, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? How are you?
How you doing, man? How you feeling, bro?
What did you guys think of the Super Bowl?
Boring as fuck.
Yeah, it was under. I mean, they were hyping it up to be this great Super Bowl, and
But I think as Jets fans, we can take away as Daniel Jeremiah. He kind of put it all out there. I mean, it's like number one, invest in offensive linemen, right? So that was I'm a firm believer that Super Bowl in particular, the Bucs won because they dominated in the trenches on both sides of the ball. I mean, yes, we can rave about how stellar for this. I wouldn't say stellar is not the right word, but for how efficient Brady looked. Okay, we can talk about some of the schemes that they had, and I could have told anyone that Brady was holding back Gronk the entire playoffs only to basically unleash him in the Super Bowl. Like the looks that he had the entire night. Just like this was so predictable. Like he barely was using Gronk throughout the playoffs. It was just like a matter of time and he would be his secret weapon and he'd use him. So that leads me to my next point where it's just like I think you watch the Super Bowl and it's like you want this new regime to really focus on the offensive line and the defensive line. Shaq Barrett's about to get paid. Do you guys think we have a prayer at him or?
He's getting paid.
Tyrone?
No, he's getting paid. It's not really what we're looking for end. You know what I'm saying? And
why not?
Guys are,
what an explosive pass rusher? We're not looking for that.
Why wouldn't we? We're changing to a 4-3. We need an edge guy now.
I just think that they want somebody. They want more of a bigger bookend. They want somebody, 290, 275, 6'3", 6'4", to really just jam the edge like that. The reason he looks so good is like, like the last caller said, man. He got pit bulls in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So
do we. We got Quentin Williams.
And then you forgot who they have on the other side, man. They got JPP on the other fucking side, bro. They got an all-star team of defensive ends, bro. That's like, bro, that's a hell of a defensive
So you're
line.
saying Shaq Barrett's not worth it?
He is worth it, but the price he's gonna command, bro, $17 million a year.
What do you think he's gonna command?
About 15 to 17 off gate. He's dominated 2 years in a row.
I'd take it for Barrett. What was his? Wasn't he like a top 5? He was top 5 edge this year, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, after he was that,
like
he was,
top 5 QB pressure too.
Yeah, he was the same way last year. You know what I'm saying? No, don't get me wrong. He's definitely worth it. But you know what I'm saying? Like you just said a moment ago that we should work on our line, right? So why not build the line first? You know what I'm saying? That's a luxury pick. You know what I'm saying? For a team
that sounds like you want to build the line via the draft.
No, I want to build a line, period. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Free agency, it's going to be a lot of good players getting cut this offseason. It's going to be a chance to really, really build this lineup, you know, and get some quality players in the building. So whatever it takes. To me.
Who's better? I guess I truly don't know. This is not like a sarcastic question here, but who is better than Shaq Barrett at his position that's a free agent right now?
I mean, nobody. I mean, you know, he's probably – I mean – You have to give him credit. Right now, he's probably the best free agent, the best pass rush free agency out there. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I mean, he's probably got to be a top 10 like free agent overall if you think about it.
I mean,
right?
Absolutely. But you just asked me, was he? You know, who's the better pass rusher than him? He's the best pass rusher pretty much out right now. So you think allocating $17 million to a pass rusher when we don't have an offensive line or a quarterback or receivers, none of that shit matters? None of that's important? We should just grab a pass rusher because, you know, he's a good pass rusher.
In theory, Trey Hendrickson could be a big find. The guy from the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, look. Yeah, absolutely.
Trey Hendrickson.
I don't know. I just was so mesmerized by how dominant both sides of the Bucs like linemen were. And it was just like, what did they say? Chris Jones and the other guy got like 2 QB pressures, and then just a week before against the Bills. I mean, it just felt like their line was completely different. I get Eric Fisher came out like midway through that game, but Chris Jones had a much better game against the Bills. But
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. I know you probably don't know the answer. How many sacks did Chris Jones have in the playoffs?
I couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't answer. I don't know.
0. He had 0 sacks in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Chris Jones just got a shitload of money. You know what I'm saying? He just got a bag of money. So you know what I'm saying? So you spent all that money, and when they needed him the most, he has not had 1 sack in the playoffs. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kansas City lost that game because they were able to, prior to that game, they were able to dominate because he would have time. He would be able to find guys open. He wasn't able to do that because their offensive line was, you know what I'm saying, a mixed match. You took your right guard, played him on left tackle. I mean, you took your left guard, played him on left tackle. You put your right guard at right tackle, and then you add in Wanewski. You added 3 moving parts to your offensive line that's been, you know, a cohesive unit. You had plug-and-play guys all season long, but you're going against dogs. So you knew that was going to happen. So they didn't adjust well to that. Then they were double-teaming Kelsey. They were double-teaming the Cheetah. You know what I'm saying? So their third option should have been wide open. That's what they should have really worked on. But they didn't get a chance to do that because Holmes didn't have any time. That's what Tampa Bay did, man. They took away your 2 chess pieces, bro, and they didn't know how to adapt. So Andy Reid or the enemy didn't know how to adjust to what they were doing. That's why they lost. You know, it's definitely the defensive end. Go ahead.
So basically, it just sounds like, I mean, it was, and I'm it's not even sounds like. I mean, it is pretty much fact that Todd Bowles basically came up with like the defensive game plan of his life, if we think about it, right?
I mean, no, I'm not gonna say that. Todd Bowles is a defensive genius when he has the right pieces. You know what I'm saying? The one thing, you know, people are not factoring in either. Tampa Bay linebackers on what's my man name? He's a fucking savage, bro. He was all over the fucking field. You're white.
Yeah, white.
Bro. He was everywhere, bro. Yeah. And then when they did put his hands on somebody, he
so now you're discounting Todd Bowles?
No, not saying that, bro. Listen,
you just said that. Didn't you say that prime time? That's what you just said. He's a caller. You got players on the field.
No.
Exactly
he
what
said
you said.
He said that was Todd Bowles' greatest accomplishment. I was like, no, Todd Bowles is a defensive genius. No, he's not. No, that's not his greatest. You know what Todd Bowles did? He gave the recipe on how you beat Kansas City. That's what Todd Bowles did. He just showed the rest of the league how you beat them. You know
he should have been the MVP of the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
He called a great game. But what he did also is I just broke down how he beat him. He just showed us how to beat Kansas City from here on out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. Their line will be better, but I'm just saying, you know.
I don't. But how? I mean, look, that type of game plan on both sides of the ball beats anyone. Look, you have a run game, you dominate on both the OL and the DL. You know, I mean, like that run game is going. I feel like has completely gone under the radar. How well balanced that offensive game plan was. I mean, I think it was pretty balanced throughout the. Like Brady threw for 200 yards, I think. The rushing, I don't know what they rushed for a team, but it was pretty decent. So I mean, you know, that's going to slow anyone down, right? That's what Rex basically tried to do. Anytime we played Brady, keep away, keep him away from, you know, take away the possession time. And so I mean that recipe, you know, beats anyone. I think what we saw was I think as a whole, we really underestimated the Bucs defense. And I think
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I think everyone knew the Bucs defense was good. We didn't think that, you know. I mean, I guess we were so enamored by the plays, you know, like what Kansas City did with smoke and mirrors all season long. We were enamored by that, and I think that Todd Bowles was like, nah, man, we're gonna play old school football. We're gonna lock your ass down. We're gonna hit you in the mouth, and we're gonna keep coming, man. And I mean, like I said, it was beautiful, bro. It was beautiful. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Why I say that, it just seems odd when they played them in the regular season, and here I have Tyreek Hill on my fantasy team, and I have 51 points at the end of the game because he put up 200 and something yards on them. So, like, how did it quickly change? You know, what was the difference? Obviously, Bowles did his homework, but I mean, I don't want to get cheap over here, but you have to think like maybe this Britt Reed story, you know, caused a little bit of a ripple effect in that you know, on that team. I mean, it had to have bothered Andy at least, right? I mean, that was definitely not convenient for that story to come out and for that incident to happen at the time that it did. I mean, it's not convenient anytime. People got hurt, so I hope they're all right. But
I think a lot of things went into it for KC. I mean, between the story with Andy Reid, between, you know, Mahomes losing, you know, his 2 starting tackles, I think all of that kind of played a factor into it. Not to mention also Bowles calling a phenomenal game, and that defense just really getting after him.
Yeah, I was just blown away by that. But yeah, shitty game anyway though. What do you guys think now with we're hearing like Albert Breer? Apparently he's saying the Jets have told teams to sit tight on Sam Darnold. I didn't know how to really take that into context, honestly. Like sit tight as in we're waiting for Wentz to get dealt so we can see a better market for Darnold. I mean, that's what I took from it.
Or they're waiting to find out what's going to happen with Watson first?
I think it's what's going to happen with Wentz first, particularly since they were basically like rated back to back this year.
I don't know how much Wentz is really going to affect the market for Sam. I mean, yeah, you can make an argument that I guess, you know, if a team's taking on his contract and they're still able to get a first-round pick back, then that kind of sets the market a little bit for Sam to kind of warrant a late first-round pick.
Yes, I don't know.
I just don't think they're trading him until they know
reality that Sam's a goner.
No, go ahead.
I'm starting to accept that Sam's a goner.
No, it definitely seems that way. But I think that before that happens, they have to have some kind of plan in place, whether it's drafting a quarterback or at least feeling good that they're going to, you know, be able to get Deshaun Watson.
Right, of course. But that's my other question. It's like I just feel like this Nick Cassero guy, you know, is doing a pretty good job in kind of like deading the you know, the potential of him being traded. I mean, you know, it's just like no, just completely refusing.
And how long can they wait though? I mean, are they going to turn down the number 2 overall pick from the Jets or number 3 overall from Miami? You know, hoping that they can repair the relationship.
But I guess I'm curious why has Deshaun Watson for a particular team when we know that would completely put the ball in the, you know, team's effort to try to trade for him, right? That kind of like ties, you know, to Texans' hands if he does that, and he hasn't done that yet.
No, and that's the thing. Like it seems like he's open to going to, you know, a number of different places as long as he could just get out of there because it's so bad there.
Yeah, I heard something today that, you know, that said that they were trying to, talk to him, and it's like, there's like he made his mind up. He's digging in, and he's not going back. But then I heard reports that he wants to go. He's comfortable going to Denver. Like I'm not going to drive myself crazy. Wonder what the hell.
Denver.
Yeah.
What do they have that they would be able to get him?
Hey, bro, listen. I'm just telling you, bro, what I heard today, bro. I don't know.
No, I know.
I
I'm just saying. I'm fully prepared for this man to go to the most random team. Just a rabbit out of a hat trick here. I'm just like, I have no idea what's going to happen with Watson. I really don't at this point. I was feeling confident. Now I'm not. So.
Yeah, me too. At one point, I thought we were really had a chance to get him, and then I was like, it's like they're just playing my fucking emotions, man.
And how about this Russ news? Take it seriously or no? It's all smoke and mirrors.
Well, Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
I think it's all bullshit, dude. That's just all nonsense. He wants more money. He's underpaid. He's gonna start playing these games. I think it's a non-issue. Mike, thanks for joining us tonight, man. We appreciate it.
All right, absolutely. Take care, guys.
Have a good night, man.
We're gonna go to Mark in Dallas. Mark, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, bro?
Free agent dreams that I want us to get. So let's tell me what you guys think. So first, obviously, Allen Robinson. We need that wide receiver. Second, obviously, offensive line, either Scherf or Tooney.
Makes sense.
Probably the last one. I'm going to go offense again, but, LaFleur's, if they're bringing LaFleur's offense from San Fran, they use a fullback, so why not see if we can get, like, Juszczyk or something?
Yep. That I really like. Bringing the fullback back to this offense, something that we haven't had. We've been trying to, make it work with Trayvon Wesco and guys like that. Give me a legitimate fullback that can get the ground and pound going, that can get your play action working. I'm all about that.
Because, if we have, like, that smaller back plus, like Pirine, or if you draft somebody, you're going to need, like you guys said earlier, you're going to need another guy in front of him to, like, bulldoze on short yardage situations. Plus, Juszczyk is really good. Plus, he's really good catching the ball, too. So, there's another option for us. But it's going to be interesting. I know he's a free agent, but would San Fran really let him walk?
I don't think a fullback is getting paid anything crazy. So, with the amount of cap space the Jets have, I'm sure they could outbid the Niners, if they want him bad enough, or if he wants to come play for Saleh and LaFleur.
Yeah, I think they gave him a good contract to go over there, though. I think he got a pretty good deal to go over there.
They did. They pried him away from. They originally pried him away from, Atlanta, right?
Was it Atlanta or was it Baltimore? Atlanta? Yeah, it was Atlanta. But the thing we were talking about, and this makes perfectly good sense. How do you help your quarterback out, man, with a good running game? You know what I'm saying?
It was Baltimore.
It is Baltimore. Okay,
what?
So I thought so. Yeah, but that's how you help your quarterback out with a good running game. You know what I'm saying? A good running game, a strong offensive line, and then that's how in a good defense. That's how you win games. That's just it's a recipe to success, and we haven't done that. So definitely, whatever our offensive OC needs, man, give them the pieces, man. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest thing is the line, and a running back, a coach, whatever we need to make it work, make it work. You know what I'm saying? We've lacked so much talent on offense for so long. It's been difficult to watch, And then I don't care who your quarterback is, if you don't have a good offensive line or you don't give them a solid running game to where you don't put that kind of pressure on them, you're not going to be successful. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Until LaFleur got there, he wasn't running the football. Now they're running the football. Now Aaron Rodgers, back to being an MVP player. Not only because he's able to take some of that pressure off and keep teams honest. When they know you're going to, what I'm saying? So, it's all it's all part of the bigger picture, you know what I'm saying? And building this team the right way is definitely something that we need to do. So definitely, good call, man.
Right. What do you guys think of the report that came out today about how apparently we're interested in Juju and Fuller?
Well,
yeah, I seen that earlier today. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go. No, I was saying.
I was just saying, like, both of those names are kind of interesting because, I mean, as fans, we were mostly talking about Allen Robinson and Godwin being the top two. But you look at the connection as far as the quarterback goes. If you're bringing back Sam, he's got the connection to Juju, and if Watson's an option, he's obviously got the connection to Fuller. So you wonder if maybe that's playing a slight part in it.
See, I would if we keep Sam, I would be game for Juju because I do have that connection. I'm not a really honestly. I know Fuller's good, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Fuller. I mean, he's suspended for 5 games to begin the season, and he's
always hurt
injured,
too.
Bro. He's
always
injured,
hurt.
Bro.
Yeah, he's always hurt. He's always been hurt. That's the problem.
When he's healthy, I like his game, but yeah, I mean, Crowder's kind of the same way. When he's on the field, he's a beast, but he's not always on the field. So can you trust a guy like that? Plus the suspension too.
Right.
How do you feel about Samuels from North Carolina, from the Panthers?
Curtis Samuels.
Yeah, he'd probably come a little bit cheaper too. I heard somebody else, I think today, mention who is it from the Colts? Zach Pascal. He could be interesting. I mean, there's a number of guys out there.
I would be Curtis Samuel would be interesting, but I don't think that he's going to be one of those guys where you have to get either signed like if we sign Robinson, I'm totally game for signing like a smaller guy like Samuel or like or Pascal because I don't think they're number one. We need a number one.
And we signed Samuel, bro. We signed Samuel. We signed Allen Robinson, bro. They can hire the water boy. I don't give a damn, bro. Like, I can care less. You get a guy like that in the building, man, like that we've been lacking for so long and waiting on and appreciate, bro, man. Like I don't even know, bro. I don't care who they got after that. Like, we need talent. Like, and then you still like my biggest thing is what do you think they're gonna do with Crowder? Like Crowder's dude, what, $10 million? You see them giving Crowder 10.5, right? Prime time, something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you sign Robinson, if you just sign one guy, I think Crowder probably stays. But if you're able to sign, Robinson and a guy like Samuel or somebody like that, then you're probably using that Crowder money and you're putting it towards, having a piece that's going to be here for the next couple of years. Not that Crowder can't, but I don't know if he's shown you enough as far as just being on the field enough to warrant that kind of money.
He's injury prone too.
But
exactly.
Let me ask you a question, Prime Time. What if you cut Crowder, take that $10.5 million, add another 5 to it to Allen Robinson? Come on, big fella. We got room for you at the table.
But you can sign Robinson and keep Crowder though. I mean that shouldn't if they sign a top wideout. I'm not saying just get rid of Crowder for that, but if you're able to sign multiple wideouts and have these pieces here for the next couple of years, where you still have questions about Crowder.
But what if we drafted? You know what I'm saying? What if we because everyone keeps talking about drafting a receiver early in the top of the draft. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting, man.
I want both.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We're talent in the building is talent in the building.
Yep.
Well, bro, thank you for calling,
we appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
Tyron, you're doing all right, man. You're holding your own, man. You started off slow, but you're kind of picking things up now a little bit.
Man, getting there, man. Like I said, bro, I had a rough day, bro. Like, I have rough days every now and then, but, Hollywood always going to perform when the lights come on, baby. You know me, baby. You know what I do.
You're such a clown, man. So what else is on your mind, man? Are you excited with all this stuff? Like, to be honest with you, like, I'm really done with all the quarterback bullshit right now. There's so many rumors and so much nonsense out there. It's like we're at the time of year now where everybody's just chasing clicks and chasing fucking retweets and stuff like that, where it's just like we're not going to know till March 15th. I don't think, like, somebody was saying, like, the Jets trade could be next with Darnold. I don't see that happening. I think this is going to play out a little bit. I mean, so it's kind of like to argue about it at this point, it's not really worth it, doesn't seem like. It's all, like, just ridiculous speculation that really nobody knows what's going on.
I don't believe none of it, man. I just think that Joe D has been so quiet to the vest. Now all of a sudden, all these secrets are just gonna come out like that.
I don't think he knows what he wants to do, man. I think that this whole Deshaun Watson thing is coming out of nowhere. Where it's like, holy fuck, they had a plan. Now this probably turns their plan upside down. Like, all right, we got to pivot now. What do we do? What's the availability? What's the deadline? How's it gonna play out? Then it's like, what's happening else around the league? Does Derek Carr get traded? Does Mariota get traded? Does Carson Wentz get traded? There's so many things that can happen that's going on right now they're probably just trying to let the dust settle and figure out. Like I don't believe any of these stories right now. I don't think there's I think probably 30% is truth right now. The rest is all bullshit.
Absolutely. And and the funny part is, man, like Carson Wentz, bro, like kids, I don't know, it's my opinion, but like just not a good quarterback. Like just and it just shows you like
he was
like,
good prior to this year. He couldn't stay healthy.
Bro, I would hate to be an Eagles fan, bro. You fire the coach because you want to keep the quarterback happy. Then the quarterback tells you he wants to get traded, and you trade him after firing the coach that bought you a Super Bowl. Like, bruh.
Well, there's a lot of rumors about the Eagles too, where it's not the coach, it's not Wentz, it's the general manager, it's Howie Roseman is the problem there. Like the weird thing is now in this day and age of social media, all the ugliness of all the teams is coming out much faster than it used to. Like the story behind the Houston Texans is slowly but surely coming out about Easterby and all the bullshit he's doing, and all these teams and all their nonsense. It's all coming out because you know what's happening is the players are all speaking out now. Russell Wilson's talking out, Deshaun Watson's talking out. Everybody's talking out, saying, "Listen, we're not going to be quiet anymore. We're unhappy. Your practices here are ridiculous, and we're going to say something." So the players are becoming empowered now, and it's changing things. What's happening is they're using all their resources. The mainstream media want to do it. They'll go to their buddies' podcast. They'll go to all these different things and get the stories out there. It's a different world now, man. It really is. Like if you don't have your shit together, it's going to get exposed now. Just my opinion.
Well, I totally no. I mean, I think that the Russell Wilson story really kind of threw me for one, right? I was like, yo, and I'm gonna
it's
tell
about
you,
money, man.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you this, right? Like, your boy, like, now I ain't gonna talk about that dumbass, fake ass, can't cover nobody ass box safety. He gave us 2 first-round picks, bum ass, piece of shit, garbage ass, can't cover nobody, crybaby, always talking about, man, the Jets did this to me, and I'm a winner. You ain't no fucking winner, bro. You a fucking bum. You know what I'm saying? You a man with female traits, man. Like, yo, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sick of this fucking dude, bro. Like, time I hear his voice, man, I cringe, bro. Like all you want to do is
bash.
Why
do you care?
Yeah, because all he does is everything he gets, bro, is like, just like.
Yeah, Tyrone, I'm gonna change your mindset. It's 2021. We have a new coach. He's the past. We don't live in the past. We move to the future now. We embrace happiness. We embrace joy. See, you gotta namaste, my friend. You gotta chill out.
Can I just suggest one thing from the past though, like from the past couple of days that I keep seeing pop up, like because we were on Todd Bowles before. First off, so much credit to what he put together as far as the game plan goes. Having Mahomes rattled all game. And we were in agreement that night. Like, he probably deserves, if he does this again for another year with a solid defense, he probably deserves another chance to prove that he was able to learn from his mistakes. But can we please stop rewriting history as if he didn't deserve to be fired as a head coach? I get it. He had a shitty GM. I get it. He didn't have the most talented roster. But he made a lot of the same fucking stupid mistakes that we were criticizing Adam Gase for, looking like a zombie on the sidelines, lack of in-game adjustments, not being able to get it right with the offensive coordinator. We had the same problems with it. We were a little bit more competitive, but we always fell apart in the fourth quarter. That was a staple of him, kicking field goals down 3 possessions. He did a lot of the same dumb shit. So I'm not going to rewrite history and say, Jets needed to give him more time. He got 4 years, and he didn't do enough. And he even owned that. He said he didn't produce enough to warrant staying. So my 2 cents on that.
Yo, Prime Time, I'm going to give you that, too. That was dope as shit because, you know what? I read that same article where he said that. He said it himself. That I didn't produce, you know what I'm saying? So, like, anybody who didn't realize, listen, man, like, he got fired because he deserved to get fired. That's just what that is. So, yeah, he'll get a second chance somewhere, and he's well-deserving of it. You know what I'm saying? But, like, at the end of the day, when he was here, he didn't do that. If he would have did that when he was here, he would still be fucking here. So, like, that's just what it is. So, everyone that thinks that is just crazy as shit to me. Like, I don't even understand that. But, like, we're lackluster of so much talent. Like, like, to me, that's why I'm so hyped about this off season is because with the cap being the way it is and teams being stretched out the way they are, we got a chance to really, really get some really talented players in the building. You know what I'm saying? Fix some holes. I mean, everything can't be fixed in the off season, and we've been saying that for like 2 years. But like my man said from last week with the call of the century, bro, he's like, yo, I'm tired of the 2-year rebuild. It's been 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit gets old. You get tired of hearing rebuild or when are you going to start building some shit? And I think that this off season, man, you could really get some talented players. You know, it's not about the price. It's just getting talented players that wouldn't normally hit the free agent market or players you could trade for with late draft picks. So I think that if we can do something like that and get some real talent in the building, then going into the draft, man, it's all luxury. I'm not gonna say it's luxury picks, but you can pick whatever you want to, the best player available, man. Imagine having a linebacker that can go side to side at full speed, or having a defensive end that could get pressure that's young, or having a talented top receiver in the draft on your team. I mean, imagine stuff like that, you know, or picking up a tight end, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that could happen, man, that can make us better really fast and really quick. So this is my opinion.
All right, we're going to go to Afram. Afram, what's up, man?
Not much. How you guys doing?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I love listening to you guys argue. It's great. So, I just want to say with Tyson, first of all, you're right. The players are getting empowered, and in my opinion, rightly so. The owners have really kept that union down. They're nothing like baseball's union, and these guys, you know, their career span is a lot less than what a baseball player is, and quite frankly, any chance they can get more money or more power than they have, more power to them. I agree. You know, because these guys are prone to life-threatening injuries, and they're not making the money that they should be making, in my opinion.
And their quality of life after the game is significantly different than anybody else. These guys have concussions and bad backs and knees. It's significantly different, man. It's night and day to other sports.
Yeah, these guys don't care after they let them go. They don't. You know, they're not concerned about what happens to them. You know, but they want them to go 100 miles an hour for them. You know, so the more they can get out of it.
If we're being honest, though, it's like these guys, they sign a contract and they get sold a bill of goods by ownership and the general manager, whatever else, and then these teams change their ways and go back on it, and they never get held accountable for it. And now the player's like, listen, man, I did this in good faith, and there's no good faith on your side. Why can't I speak up and say something? Especially if there's gross incompetence or gross negligence. Like, why not speak up? Like, it's everybody across the world's doing it, and now sports should be no different. It's a business, man. If bad business is being done, you speak out about it.
And the best part is it's not like the one guy who can be replaced. Now we're looking at quarterbacks doing it, and these are the big guys. These are the guys that people want to come out and see most than anyone else.
Yep.
So
that's what sells tickets. Yep, absolutely.
Yes, yeah, and they have the more they speak out, the more power they're going to get out of it. As far as the draft, I'm listening to you guys. You know, a lot of these guys you want to get. They're approaching 29, some are 30 already. So, Barrett is going to be 29 this year. He's going to want at least a 3 to 4 year contract. I'm thinking because he only signed for $16 million 1 year contract. He's looking for a big payday, and he's going to get something because he won the Super Bowl. He's part of a Super Bowl team. I'm looking at Yannick because his salary this year was 12. He also did a 1 year contract, I think. And he's looking for payday. But I can live with giving him a 4 year deal because I can draft another edge. And if I can get a 4-man line that can constantly give pressure, my defensive coordinator can do a lot more with 4 guys pressuring than having to bring a couple of guys in to blitz or give more pressure. The sack exchange. And those guys were constant pressure. Because they were very talented. As soon as one got injured, the other one fell off in productivity because who do you block? Finally, who do you block? Like when Klecko got hurt, Gastineau's productivity went down. When they were both working, all 4 of them, it was unstoppable. Okay, so and I think Barrett benefited a lot, like Tyrone said, from JPP. you have to have someone complimenting you. It's hard to do one-on-one if you're getting double teamed. You know what I'm saying? Wide receiver, I don't know. I would say Robinson, but I think Joe's worried about paying $22 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Is it a smokescreen? He's throwing that out, basically telling everyone we're out of the race for Robinson. Maybe not to bring his dollar amount up, considering it's a low cap, drive his value up. Maybe they can get him for cheaper. I don't know. This whole thing. The Jets have been. I have to admit, the Jets have been very secretive. Very little things are leaking out. And I think they leaked out this story too, with Schuster and Fuller. Why would you want to get a guy who's injured and already has a PED issue that happened? Samuels, I think he's 24. I would invest in him. You can build with him, right? You want a young team, so as the team gets better, he's getting better. He knows the system. I don't know if he's been injury prone or anything like that. I couldn't tell you, but he's 24, and I would invest in that. I'm sure you can get him for a good price and develop him within the system. Running back, to be honest, I'd say the draft. I would say the draft. I would keep Ty. I forgot his last name. Ty Johnson. He was very quick in pocket. Guys on that team. He played who he wanted to see the best possible team so he can win, because he was losing so much. He just kept the same thing. He did not want to put players in to see what they can do. He put what he thought was the best chance he had, and that wasn't fair to some of these guys who even give him a chance, you know. So you really don't know what you got until you use them. So it was a strange past 2 years with Gase.
How high are you willing to draft a running back?
No, I've been reading up. There's a lot of guys. You can get them in third, fourth round. I think with this scheme, you know, you just need someone who's fast, someone nimble, someone hits the pocket fast, someone who can shoot. There's that guy Chuba. I forget his last name.
Hubbard, I think.
Hubbard, yeah, Chuba Hubbard, very quick. You know, it comes down to what they're looking for. You know, like you said, and like Tyson said, and from second round down is where you build the team. So, you know, you want that one guy who stands out at number one and who's going to be solid. And that's usually in this day and age, it's a wide receiver. I don't want to pick a wide receiver my first pick, maybe my second number one pick. But at this point, it's going to be probably a quarterback. Yeah, why? And this right now, you can get second and third round. You can get a good pass rusher. There's a lot of guards you can get in late rounds that are very good, even a center. So I think they'll draft guys that are. I think cornerbacks, you're going to need to put a safety in there or a free agent safety. And I would use Davis as a nickelback, do a bust a screen type of move, because he's fast and you know, teach him that instead of, you know, give him one type of situation where he can master. And
Tyrone, what are you thinking about all this? Tyrone got quiet all of a sudden. What the hell happened? Tyrone, you right over there?
Hey, no, bro. No. I'm just listening, bro. Like, you know, like I'm enjoying what he's talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of the stuff that he wants to do, that, you know what I'm saying, that he's seeing that what's best for the team. I mean, I kind of like that. I mean, I agree with not all of it, but I agree with most of it. I mean, I'm definitely looking at, you know, the only thing I disagree with is taking if we get a chance to take a receiver early, we move back a couple of slots we can grab one of those top receivers, man, I'm definitely going for that. I mean, that 2 is kind of hard, but I definitely want one of those good receivers. I just think it's time that we get somebody like that in the building. The Allen Robinson thing is definitely something I would really enjoy if we were able to get him in the building. But if not, I want one of those alpha dog receivers. And, that's either my man from LSU or my man from Alabama. That's just, those are the 2 best. And if I could get one of those, I definitely would do that.
If you look at some of these guys, you got Rashad Bateman. There's a lot of guys out there that the guy from Florida, I think it was Tony or something like that. Yeah, they're all good. Some guys are rated higher. Maybe because of the team they play on, they showcase more.
Well, the kid from pardon the wisdom for a second. But the kid thing, Tony, the kid from Florida, right? Yo, if you watch his Senior Bowl practice, bro, his stock went through the roof. He was killing them out there, killing them. He was killing them out there, bro. So, I definitely agree with that. But if we can get a chance to get, a really, really top receiver in the building, I definitely want that. It's well overdue since Keyshawn, baby, since Keyshawn.
Yeah, I mean, but it's going to come down to how much Joe wants to spend. If he wants to spend that money on him, I would want Robinson. Even Goodwin. Goodwin would be even just as good, and he's younger, a lot younger. So let's see what. It's just like I said, you just don't know. There's so many different options that can happen. It's crazy. I've never seen it like this in all the years that I've been watching this team. Having that number 2 pick overall, and all this money and all these first round picks is just. It's just a bunch of things they can do. There's a lot of talent this year in the draft as well. So, hey, see what happens. But
thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Be well.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good night, bro. Have a good night.
I wish I had his vibe, dude. He is so relaxed and
laid
calm.
back.
And
Yes.
Dude, he's probably like sitting there smoking a fat ass joint, and he's like, "Dude, I am just fucking mellow as hell. Just gonna spew out my football knowledge, let everybody listen to me, and just like an easy kill pace, dude. I wish I had that kind of mindset.
No way to fight with him.
I can't be that relaxed. No, there's not. You feel bad. Like, you don't want to, Tyrone's like, what did Tyrone say? I want to, what the fuck you say? What was how you said to him? You're like, I want to apologize for some shit. You sound like all nice and shit. Like, I want to forgive your intelligence or some shit. What'd you say?
Nah. I said, pardon your wisdom. I was telling him that.
Pardon your wisdom. What in the fuck is that, man? Pardon your wisdom. Tyrone cuts off every motherfucker every night, 3 times a night, fucking ripping people to shreds. And all of a sudden, here comes nice guy Tyrone. Excuse me, sir. Pardon your wisdom. I appreciate most of your stuff, except for a little bit, but I respect all your takes. What the hell is that shit? Come on, man.
He's a laid back bold, man. He's just smooth with it, man.
You brought out some bullshit.
He brings down the temperature, man. But no, I mean, he really has some good points, though.
Prime time, pardon your wisdom, prime time. But I'm going to oppose your take. What the fuck is this shit? This is like let's talk educated Jets. This is some bullshit now. We're gonna go to Matt. We're gonna go to Matt in Philly.
No.
Matt, bring us back to reality, man. Bring us back to chaos, please.
I was riding that guy's vibe. I think he might have been a little under the influence of some Mary Jane, but I was riding the vibe until he mentioned Buster Screen type of player, and then I came back down to earth because I never would want Buster Screen back on the Jets.
That reference was bad.
What's going on, guys? I'm sure you've had a lot of good content to talk about, especially after this past Sunday Man, I mean, I went into the Super Bowl thinking I couldn't stomach another Tom Brady Super Bowl. He's tormented my whole life. The greatest to ever do it, unfortunately. But what I saw, Tyson, you could have told me that Sam Darnold was number 15 Sunday. It summed up his entire career as a Jet. And it also summed up as a fan of the Jets. You know, Brady getting every call in the first half, and the opposing quarterback having no time to throw behind a depleted O-line, trying to overcompensate and make plays. It was just like, holy crap, this has been my whole life watching football when I watch Tom Brady.
Can I say something, bro? Like, I'm sorry. Yo, that ball was hitting them guys in the hand, bro. Like, even when he was throwing the ball off balance on the ground, it was hitting them in the hands or in the helmet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sam was overthrowing people and missing people, bro. Like, listen, I know that Sam was under a lot of duress, but, he didn't get sacked more than Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to keep saying, that, it's all, no, it's not just that with Sam, man. Like, Sam made a lot of bad throws. Coach or not, man, he made a lot of bad throws, a lot of bad decisions. So how much talent can you put around him, man, if he's making bad throws, or he's overthrowing receivers, or he's not putting his footwork right, or he's not making the correct read, or he's not getting the ball to where it's supposed to go to? How do you put around talent around that? It doesn't matter. The quarterback's not making the right decision. I mean, I don't understand that argument. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about, like, I love Sam to death, and I think he's a good kid, but I'm just saying, man, like, we keep talking about what he didn't have. What about what he did have? What about the games where he overthrew wide open receivers, or he chose the wrong place to put the ball? That's on him. I don't give a fuck who your coach is. If you got time to throw the ball and you're making the wrong decision, that's the quarterback's fault, not the coach, the line, anybody else.
Yeah, but when's the last time you really felt that Sam had all the time in the world to throw a ball? I mean, it's been years since this guy. I don't know the percentage of snaps, of pressures, but my God, it's always seemed like someone's in his face. And I don't want to come on here telling you I'm comparing Pat Mahomes to Sam Darnold. We know Pat Mahomes is an unbelievable talent, can do things with very little at his disposal, creating, making acrobatic throws. Sam has shown flashes to do that, but I'm not comparing them. I'm comparing the fact that when you don't have an O-line that can protect you, even with all the weapons in the world, it's very hard to win and score. And we saw them not score a touchdown. Mahomes hasn't not scored a touchdown since he's been in high school. I just felt like I was watching a Jets game where our quarterback had nothing and had no time.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
It's one more thing. It's a problem when Tyson is kind of changing the narrative on Twitter that he just thinks that it's better to part ways. I've heard a lot on this show of him going at him, and then the tweet came in saying, I just think it's best to part ways. I felt like that was a little bit of a different narrative than Tyson's been pushing.
Uh-oh.
I got a question. Hold on, Tyson. Hold on. I got a question. Okay. So how many other quarterbacks in the league, man, don't have an offensive line? They don't have protection. You know what I'm saying? This is the whole point, man. We keep making excuses for the shit that Sam do on the field, man. He makes a lot of bad decisions. I love the kid, man. I want to see the kid be successful. But let's be honest here, man. He makes a lot of bad decisions. Those are him making those throws.
One question. Do you think our O-line got better this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I do.
Then why was it still bottom 3 of the league rated? Everybody says other lines are better. We think we got better this year in the O-line, and we were still bottom 3 in the league. It's just we don't really have a lot of weapons to get open. It's like not a lot working for Sam here.
Well, I got a question. Ain't the quarterback position the most important position on the field, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. So a good quarterback will lift a bad team up, right? Didn't we watch the Redskins get a guy off the fucking street to come in and play better than Sam all season long? Didn't we watch San Francisco win fucking games with half of their team on injured reserve? What quarterbacks who were working at Lowe's the week prior to that? You understand what I'm saying? So, like,
yeah,
good
Redskins are
players.
the worst division in football. The Washington football team, and then San Francisco has a Super Bowl caliber coach calling the plays and a Super Bowl caliber system.
Okay, so none of that shit, Christ, is nothing that Sam does, huh? So Sam is just, it was because, so when we get a line and we get receivers and we get a new coach and we get a new system and he still fucking sucks, please call back, man, and let me know how this shit working and what's the excuse then. Because I'm just asking, bro, because
You're assuming he's not going to be good.
Damn, bro. I'm assuming, because listen, I want him to be good, but I'm a Jets fan. I want Sam to be good. I like Sam. I'm just telling you, man, if he does not improve his mechanics, his footwork, and his fucking vision, then on top of that, the kid's gun shy, man. He's made.
Well, there's
bro,
the
how many
problem.
times we watched?
There's the problem.
How many times have we watched Sam throw the ball and miss wide open fucking receivers? The fucking receivers are complaining about not getting the ball, can't throw the deep ball. Come on, man.
People watch Pat Mahomes. People watch Pat Mahomes and they say he's happy feet. He has happy feet and no pocket and a great pocket presence. They see Sam do the same exact thing, rolling out, trying to make plays, and they say he has happy feet and no pocket presence.
Okay.
It's just so it's hypocritical in Twitter world here.
I mean, that's Twitter word. That shit ain't real. That's Twitter. Fucking cut it off. I'm just telling you, man, that you have to look at what Sam has done and not done on the field. Like, I'm sitting there watching games. Like, I want Sam to be successful. I really do. But I'm telling you, man, he's made a lot of bad decisions on the field. He has to own that, man. So, like, everyone's just like, yo, we can just build around him. And what if he does the same shit? What if he doesn't improve? Then what?
Let me ask you something. Are you a Carson Wentz believer? Do you think he has talent? Do you think he's a good quarterback?
Fuck no, I don't.
Even during the MVP type of year?
Carson Wentz?
All right. Yeah, Carson Wentz.
Nah, I don't think he's a very good quarterback. To be honest with you.
I just felt like, when they went on that Super Bowl season, I know it wasn't him in the playoffs, but they had one of the best O-lines. They had some weapons, and he was unbelievable. This year, it kind of looked like Sam out there trying to create when they had a depleted O-line and no weapons. It was the inverse. Why can't I think that for Sam, you build around him, you might get something great?
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's how you feel. I'm not mad at how you feel. But let me ask you a question. When Philly won the Super Bowl, was Carson Wentz on the field?
He was not, and that goes to Primetime and I's point that if you have a good O-line, some weapons, you can still win a Super Bowl. You can still go far in the plallayoffs. It just goes to show you we build around this guy.
Nick Foles ain't had shit to do with that, huh? It wasn't Nick Foles. It was the O-line.
He absolutely had the clutch gene.
Listen,
he absolutely had the clutch
gene. I don't know if you primetime lost cousin or some bullshit, bro, or y'all trying to punk me and asking Kisha about to run outside or something. This is some bullshit, bro. Like, bro, every fucking argument you're making, bro, you're sitting there telling me, bro, like it's not Sam. How the fuck is it not Sam? How is it not him when he's throwing the football? He makes bad decisions, period. I'm sorry. He does.
Remember 2 weeks ago when Do you remember 2 weeks ago when Tyson, I think everybody else here, would have picked Sanchez if you had the choice between any quarterback to start their career right now, Sanchez or Darnold? Everybody said Darnold was more talented. Sanchez took us to the AFC Championship. Let's give him a chance with some people around him and a competent coach. You know, if you came on the show and said, we want to reset the quarterback clock, I would respect that argument. But I feel like a lot of people are Sam haters. I'm not saying you're a Sam hater, but I just think at some point you got to weigh the options of building around this kid and seeing what he can do, because he was a third-round pick.
What I don't understand is no. But not even understand.
Ryan Leaf was the first pick in the draft.
Hold on. I don't think it has anything to do with hating Sam. Everybody likes Sam. Everybody believed in him. Everybody recognizes the little flashes he's shown. What people are saying is, okay, we see that. Now it's we have the known of the unknown with Sam, and then we have the unknown about a rookie quarterback. It's like we have a little bit of belief in Sam, but we have so much unknown about him. We hope it's there. We hope it's there. Then you have a blank canvas and a rookie quarterback. So it's like, do you want to double down with Sam and hope he gets better? Because if he doesn't, then what? Because next year you're not going to have that prominent number 2 pick. And that's what people are saying. So they're saying, you know what? What happens is Joe Douglas didn't draft Sam. There's a lot of concerning issues about a variety of different things, a lot of damage done. Can you undo all of that? And is it even worth it and risk this year when you can just say, you know what, let's just reset, rookie quarterback, rookie contract, our guy, build the offense around him, and let's just all start over. Because, Matt, if we're going to be honest, and I know how you are, you can make the case for Sam, and he comes out week 1 and shits the bed and has a lousy half, you're going to be like, what the fuck? This team should have got Fields. We should have got Wilson. Fired Joe Douglas. This is bullshit. That's the problem with keeping Sam, dude. Because the damage is done, and there's going to be no patience nowhere for him. None. The minute he struggles, it's going to be a problem everywhere.
Yeah, but doesn't that also have to do with
when he goes
the quarterback class coming out now, and or whether or not you have a chance to realistically get Deshaun Watson? Because I think that changes the conversation. If Joe Douglas identifies one of these guys as a can't-miss prospect, the solidified number 2 pick in the draft, and he wants to tie himself to his quarterback right now, fine. But if he's making that decision, he's pushing his chips all in on the quarterback now.
That's fine. But he's going to have prime time. But prime time. But here's the deal. Yeah, but the problem is, though.
But hold on, though. This isn't even like a defensive Sam. It's weighing what is the greater risk? You trade Sam, he goes elsewhere, maybe he becomes the top 10 guy, and your pick sucks. No, I'm breaking down the options here. As far as worst case scenario, if you trade him, he goes somewhere else, becomes that guy, and your pick isn't that guy within a year or two, how does that make Joe Douglas look? Or worst case scenario, you keep Sam, he sucks. Maybe you miss on your franchise guy, which would suck, but you still have your cap space there. You still have all your picks there. Joe Douglas can still sell that to ownership. This wasn't my guy. I could still go get my guy now. From his perspective, is he ready to push his chips all in?
You draft a quarterback, you're buying yourself at least 2 years, maybe 3. Because nobody's going to expect.
I disagree. I look at it the other way, though. Unless he sees one of these guys as being his franchise guy, if Sam isn't it, he's still going to be here with Saleh to pick his quarterback a year from now, 2 years from now, whenever.
No, I completely disagree. If he keeps Sam and doesn't draft a quarterback and bring anybody else, they're going to be like, what the fuck were you thinking? Because now you wasted another year, and now we're in the same position again, delaying it.
But
so if you take a quarterback this year, you reset everybody. Everybody embraces it's like
but it's only a waste if you don't add talent. It's only a waste if you don't add talent.
If you go 5-11 with Sam next year, 6-10, and Sam plays like shit, that is the absolute worst case scenario for the Jets. Because now, if you want to get a top quarterback in the draft, you got to give up all of this valuable draft picks everybody wants now.
But again, you would still be improving the rest of your roster with holes that we know we have, and you still we went over the list last night of all the top quarterbacks. Where were they taken? How many guys were actually taken in the top 5? How many were the number 1 or the number 2 quarterback of their draft class? So if we're trusting Joe Douglas, like with the Watson conversation, if we're trusting him to be able to build this team with, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks and all that, why wouldn't he be able to identify and find a quarterback?
Then he should. Then you made a case for him. Then he should do it. He should realize that, you know what? The risk to keep Sam is great. Let me find my quarterback in the draft him. We all embrace it. We all move on. That's his guy, his team, his coach. They all move on.
I agree that there is risk with whatever they do.
Sam, bro. You can't keep this. The only scenario I say you keep Sam, unless you plan on moving back and getting a shitload of picks, bro, for that number 2 pick. That or you know what I'm saying? That's the only way I would say keep Sam. It doesn't matter if you do not. Like I think right now Sam is better than both of the quarterbacks after Trevor Lawrence. I think Sam is the better quarterback.
So hold on, Tyrone. So if you actually think that,
and
Watson,
if
you think that, Tyrone, and Watson's not a realistic option, and we can trade down from 2 and probably add a 1st round pick for next year, and let's say Sam shits the bed, like Tyson said, and we're 6-10, 5-11, you don't think we'd be able to trade up to get our franchise quarterback with 3 1st round picks and all of our other picks?
But prime time, I understand what you're saying, but this is my whole point. Absolutely, but this is the whole point, prime time. So you're taking your assets to move up to fix the problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. The only way Joe Douglas would do that to get a shitload of picks. But if that's what they believed in Sam. But if Sam doesn't come through, then what's the point of fucking doing that? Like, yeah, we're gonna fix holes, but prime time. If you get 3 first-round picks next season, and you got to give them all up to go get a fucking quarterback, you might as well get rid of Sam now and get out young quarterback.
You're making it more about Sam. I'm making it more about the rookie quarterbacks coming out. If Douglas identifies one of these guys that can't miss, fine. Take your quarterback. You can trade Sam for an early second or a late first, kind of recoup some of those assets. Cool. Like I'd be fine with that. But is he ready to push all of his chips in on one of these quarterbacks? Because if you take your guy this year, you can't take a guy next year, and you're not taking a guy the year after that. You are tied to this guy. This is your quarterback. For the next 4 to 5 years, you are tied with him. Is he willing to put his name on one of these guys?
What happens, though, primetime, if you take Sam and he shits the bed, right? Then you're starting all over again. You know what I'm saying? You're starting all over again. So
you're not, because you just drafted great in the first round for other holes we needed. And then the next guy can come in with those at his disposal.
You're starting over with the quarterback, dude. You're starting over with the quarterback.
You still have a rookie quarterback. So if Joe Douglas feels that one of these guys
is delaying it a year,
then exactly.
And LaFleur has a year to install his offense, so you're not bringing in a rookie quarterback into a new system.
Yeah, but see, what I don't understand is hold on. I understand the whole building a team concept, which is getting beaten over my head endlessly. But what I like to do is build my team with my quarterback so they all learn on the same page together. Here's my perfect world. We get a rookie quarterback this year, and guess what he does? He learns this year with Mims and Becton and fucking Thuney and Allen Robinson and his coordinator, and they build chemistry year one this year, and our rebuild starts this year. I don't want to wait till next year, this year didn't work out. Let's start it next year and waste another fucking year. Let's do the rebuild. We're rebuilding. So if we're going to rebuild, let's reset everything. We reset the coach. We reset the power structure. We reset new offense, new everything. So to me, it's like, let's all start on the same page. This is my concern. Like, I don't want to delay it a year. And that's my concern. Like, I understand the whole Sam Darnold supporter thing. I get it. I just don't have that same faith. And I don't want to be in the same spot next year, be like, fuck. How do we get a quarterback this year? I just don't feel like going through that again.
Think about how much worse it would be, though, if we take a quarterback just for the sake of taking a quarterback, and he doesn't play well this year.
Nobody's taking a quarterback just to take a quarterback. In theory,
then we're having the same conversation next year.
We're not taking a quarterback to take a quarterback. In theory, Joe Douglas is taking the second best quarterback in this draft, which in years past is a good thing. So it's like we don't know enough about the quarterback.
There's no solidified number 2 pick.
I'm not a fucking draft expert, dude.
If Douglas identifies one of these guys and he's ready to tie his name to somebody, I'm cool with that. And I get it, too. Sam is not his guy. I totally understand that. He's going to want to take his guy. But from his perspective, he can absolutely run it back with Sam for another year, identify all the other holes on this roster, and then still say to the Johnsons at the end of the year, I didn't have my quarterback. We tried with Sam. We tried with your guy. It didn't work out.
Good luck
I need
with
to take my quarterback
now.
He's not getting fired.
But here's the problem I have with
this. Your contract. He's not going anywhere.
Here's the problem I have with this.
Because you're assuming 1,000% we need a quarterback. Yet we have 5 teams that are interested in Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback.
Supposedly. But the thing is, so now we're saying there's only, in theory, there's only one quarterback in this draft class. The rest of them suck. There's no other starters in this draft. When you just told me yourself there's all these other quarterbacks that got picked up later on. So what is it? Is there only one quarterback, or is there other quarterbacks here? Because if Joe Douglas is worth his salt, he should be able to find a legitimate quarterback in this draft. Because we had the number 2 pick in the fucking draft. How is there only one guy on the planet in this draft that's only good to be a starter, and nobody else is good enough to play for the Jets because we have Sam Darnold? There's nobody better in this draft than Sam Darnold.
Douglas identifies, and like I just said, 2 things. Hold on. If Joe Douglas identifies that guy, perfect. Take him. But you're also weighing that against whatever you could potentially get back in a trade. So if you're able to go from 2 to 4 and then from 4 to 8, and you're getting an extra first or 2 extra first-round picks, a couple extra seconds, with all the holes on this roster, you can't build a ridiculous all-pro team with all that?
Yeah, but listen, first of all, you're assuming that every pick's going to hit, which is not true. Secondly, you can do all the fancy
You're assuming that every pick from rounds 2 to 7 is going to hit if we make the trade for Watson.
No, I'm
assuming that first and second-round picks are going to hit?
No, see, in your plan, you're looking to trade back and get cute. I'm trying to get a fucking franchise quarterback that we don't have.
I'm trying to get Douglas as many options as possible, as many assets
as possible. The option is take the best quarterback that's available to him. Like, we can address holes with the cap space we have and the draft picks we have now. We don't need to collect 35 fucking picks and go down the second round, and we still don't have a quarterback. You're the number 2 pick. It's the most marketable pick after Lawrence. If he can't find a quarterback there, I mean, that's just craziness. I find it hard to believe there's only one quarterback in this draft class. Oh, sorry, Jets. You know what? Maybe next year we'll find one because there's only one this year. It's Trevor Lawrence or bust. Joe Douglas has to have a plan other than Sam, dude.
So why wouldn't that same argument apply to next year and the year after? I mean,
well, prime time. But why stop? Why not start it now? So you know what I'm saying, to move forward. Like, you know, you get a rookie quarterback, you get him acclimated into the system, you get the players around him. I mean, so the following season, when you got
let me answer this one.
You can get more talent in the building.
Go ahead, Matt.
The fuck?
Go ahead, Matt.
I don't really understand the whole let's bring in new quarterback to reset. I think everybody's resetting with our new coaches and our new staff. I think it's a reset no matter what. I don't really get – it's not like Darnold's been playing on the Jets for 6 years and it's like desperate need of a change of scenery.
His fifth-year option's coming up. You don't understand the concept of a rookie contract for a rookie quarterback?
I didn't say that. I said okay, the quarterback start. It's a quarterback clock restart. I get that. All right? If that's what you guys are saying, then really say that specifically. It sounds like to me on the phone that you're like, well, Darnold was there in the past administration, now he's here on the first one. Like, it's a fresh start for everybody.
Matt, it's not hard to figure out, dude. You have a quarterback that's been here 3 years that the general manager didn't draft. He's approaching his fifth-year option. He's entering to a year that he's a relative unknown. So if you want to reset with a rookie, but what I'm trying to say is you're bringing in a new coordinator that's bringing in a quarterback-friendly system that should be very friendly to rookie quarterbacks. If there's a quarterback you believe in, getting a young kid on a rookie contract is a clear reset. You buy yourself your time for the general manager to coach everybody. Everybody's starting over.
Well, you know, if Darnold stayed in school, he would be coming out this year. All right, what's a couple of years of NFL experience with seeing NFL defense? What's the harm in that other than the contract? Other than the
what's
contract,
the harm in it?
What is the harm?
It wasn't 3 good years.
It was experience. Now it's getting a quarterback-friendly system.
Trevor Siemian's got experience. You want him? Josh Rosen's got experience. You want him?
They don't have experience.
I don't give a fuck about
Rosen
experience.
Okay. All right.
So we're going to give Sam Darnold credit for we're giving him participation points for actually playing now. You played like shit, but you played though. So let's pat you on the back. Good job, kid. You actually stepped on the field.
Hey, you know what? Talk to your guy Tyrone, who just said Tyrone, me, a lot of Jet fans think that Darnold's more talented than everybody not named Lawrence in the draft. He's 23 years old. I like to say that a lot because he's young. It's not like a fixable project. He's not in shambles here, guys. All right? Come on. I don't think so. I think he made things happen with very little at his disposal.
He made things happen. What exactly did he make happen?
When he didn't play.
How many breakout games did he have this year? How many 300-yard games? Where was that all-out aerial assault from Sam Darnold this year? Oh, wait, let me guess. Blame Adam Gase. Adam Gase held him back from that, so he can't do that. So what exactly did he show us this year?
What did Mahomes show us in the Super Bowl last Sunday?
Dude, you're going to compare Mahomes and Sam Darnold, dude? You got to be kidding me.
No, just
apples and oranges,
just the game. Just that game.
One fucking game, dude. You want to talk about the games, all the games before that, all his runs before that, his entire year? Plays at an all-pro level. Sam Darnold's one of the worst quarterbacks in football right now.
When he had his O-line, yes.
Right, I also want to say one point. You say, you know, if we get a quarterback and if Darnold stays and he's stuck, Matt's going to be pissed. Let me say one thing. Whatever the Jets do, I'm with Primetime here. If the Jets really want a guy in the draft and Douglas really likes somebody and he comes out and says it and our coach is on the same page, then I'm okay with that. Like everybody in the building on the same page. I just have a preference for Sam Darnold looking at the number 2 overall pick. Here's another thing. I saw Mike Tomlin go up to Chase Young in one of those mic'd up things. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but he goes, you are one of the most impactful players. I hope I don't have a bad record enough to be able to draft a guy like you. Pretty much saying, I hope I never coach a team that is bad enough to be selecting top 3 in the draft. That number 2 pick can be impactful. We can trade and get more picks, and we can build around the holes that we don't have. That's all me and Primetime are saying.
But listen, but Matt, what you don't understand is what we understand the need to build this team. And what I'm saying is that you have crazy amount of cap space. You have all these other draft picks that you can use. At number 2, if you want a good quarterback, if he says, I want a quarterback, I'm completely cool with it. I have no problem with it because I'm looking to move forward as an organization. If Joe Douglas and Saleh said we want Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Kyle Trask, Mickey Mouse, I don't give a fuck who they say they want. Whoever it is, I'm all in. I'm buying in. But if you're going to tell me if the Jets keep – no, I want to comment on one thing, though. If you're going to tell me if the Jets keep Sam Darnold, fine. But I guarantee you, week 1, if he plays like shit – the outrage, this fucking kid, same old Darnold, same old bullshit, it's going to follow him every game unless he plays at a Pro Bowl level because that's the damage that's been done on and off the field with Sam Darnold. And that's just a fact. That's the media. That's half this fan base. That will happen. The minute he throws a fucking interception, Jesus Christ. And God forbid if Zach Wilson or Justin Fields plays well somewhere else, which nobody else is talking about. So he's saying, you know what? Skip that. Let's just keep Sam and everything else. Imagine keeping Sam and Zach Wilson starts tearing it up or Justin Fields starts tearing it up. What's the backlash going to be? Fuck Sam and fuck Joe Douglas, right?
Imagine we draft Wilson or Fields and they pull a Joe Burrow and tear the ACL and Sam's ripping it up in San Francisco on a playoff caliber team. What are you going to be doing?
Okay.
Crying your eyes out just like the other way, the other scenario you just painted. It's the same shit.
Dude, you're talking about injuries, dude. Now we're talking about injuries. I mean, what if they cancel the season next year? We don't talk about anything then.
Then. And you're stuck with him for the next 4 to 5 years. It's
literally
the exact same kind of risk, though, that you're talking about here. Just different kind of risk.
It goes both ways.
There's risk with both things.
And then
exactly.
Say that. Don't paint a picture one way. Say the other way. It's a risk either way. We go into the draft and it's like a scratch-off lottery. You know, the top 3 picks are like $10 scratch-offs. You might hit, you might not.
Matt, you know what? And that's why I want Deshaun Watson. But that's why I want Deshaun Watson. I don't want any of these fucking players.
We're all on the same page with Deshaun Watson. He's our top guy, for sure. Deshaun Watson's the guy. If we can get Deshaun Watson, I'll give my left nut for Deshaun Watson. We're all on the same page there, but I'm just saying it probably won't happen. And when it doesn't happen, I prefer Sam because, one, you know, you're relying on the cap space we have. We can bring players in. We can trade for players. I'm under the take that great teams won't let great players walk away in valuable positions. You look at the O-lines and the trenches on all these teams, they never let these elite players walk. And when they do walk, then there's a reason. You know, when we got Osemele, Jet Nation was going nuts like this guy was in the Pro Bowl. He sucked. All these guys that have come here and filled spots in our O-line from free agency haven't paid off. And I've seen it around the league, too. It's very minimal outliers that come in and make shit happen right away from another team when you talk O-line and very valuable positions. So I'm not really like a cap space. I don't rely on the cap space too much just based off of what was happening in the past with the league.
I mean, listen, if now we're going to discount having $80 million in cap space, I give up. Because just because Mike Maccagnan shit the bed and didn't have to spend money, now we can't have Joe Douglas to find excellent value and sign guys on the offensive line? We just talked about Lindsley for fucking 20 minutes, the center from the Packers. So now you're going to say you don't want the center from the Packers because contracts in the past sucked?
Hold on. I have plenty of faith that Douglas can get it right, but I mean, if we're going to judge the small body of work, I mean, we spent every single week this year ripping pretty much every single free agent signing, in particular along the offensive line, which was supposed to be his area. Van Roten, Alex Lewis, he gave them big money contracts. McGovern, we're talking about sliding over to guard. Fant, we're not really sure about. I mean,
he said the whole league, not the Jets. He said the whole league. He said the whole league as a
when you draft an O-line, yeah, especially the Jets, though, Tyson. I mean, it's the Jets. It's what we've been tormented with the last 5 years.
It's the Jets. Look at their last 2 general managers. They're amongst the worst in the history of the fucking league. Maybe we have higher standards here and believe that maybe Joe Douglas can be better after learning a year or being more competent than Mike Maccagnan and John Idzik. If you're going to have faith in him, if you're going to have faith in him with keeping Sam Darnold, you have to have faith in him giving a good contract to an offensive lineman because everybody's blowing him saying he's an offensive line guy. If I hear one more time, it's Joe Douglas, offensive line guru, if you're going to say that and believe it and buy into it, then you should trust him signing an offensive lineman.
I don't trust any GM signing offensive linemen is what I'm trying to say. Offensive linemen are drafted. Elite offensive linemen are drafted. You look at the Brick, Mangold, they're Jets for life. Quentin Nelson in Indy.
So you're going to tell me Brandon Scherf's not going to be a good player if he goes somewhere else?
I'm just telling you, I think teams do whatever it takes to bring back an elite O-lineman.
If he's a free agent, is he not going to? Is Joe Thuney not a good player?
What happened last year? They said he was a free agent last year, but the Patriots franchise tagged him. If he's a free agent this year, is he not a good player? So you're going to say, is Matt Philly going to say, you know what? I don't want Joe Thuney. I don't want Scherf because you know what? Contracts never work with offensive linemen. Is that going to be your take? It's going to be in the back of my mind. I'm going to think Nate Solder a couple of years ago when the Pats let him go. He was the worst lineman in New York. He went from one of the best to the worst. Of course it's going to be in my mind. But let's say we draft Penei Sewell after we trade back a couple of picks, get another first-round pick. Oh, now we got our two guys for the next 10 years on both sides. Shit! We're looking like Mangold and Brickishaw again. And then we have a guy, Sanchez.
No quarterback. And no
quarterback.
Your boy Tyson would pick Darnold over Sanchez, but now you got, Penei Sewell and Becton like the Brick and Mangold. You got a running game. You got a defense. Do we really need great quarterback play? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's called this the quarterback league, man. Like this isn't fucking 1995. This isn't 2005. This league has changed, man. It's a quarterback-driven league. It's all about the offense and the quarterback.
Yeah, Garoppolo almost secured that dub in the Super Bowl. Jared Goff almost. I know it's a lot of almost, but you don't know what Stan could do. You don't know what the quarterback could do on third down when the pressure's on. Everybody reacts different. Maybe it'll be different. They got to the big moment. They got there. That was only a couple of years ago, Tyson. You with me? Tyrone just said that he thinks Sam Darnold's more talented than Wilson and Fields.
I'm so glad.
I'm shaking it up in the Jets Talk Radio
I'm
world.
so glad you're in Philly, dude, because I'm not with you. I'm glad you're down in Philly. You should stay down there.
I'm shaking it up tonight.
You ain't shaking up shit, dude. You're shaking up your marbles.
Tyrone,
Matt, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate
more
it.
Talented. I think
Jesus
Tyson
Christ,
conceded on Twitter. We need a new scenery. That wasn't what he was saying 2 weeks ago. Prime time. Shit.
I've never been on Sam Darnold's side. You must have been listening to the wrong podcast or something.
A year ago you were, and then you jumped off by week 3.
Nah, man, because every time we get to Sam Darnold, y'all go fucking bananas and shit. Prime time, you fall in love.
You guys kill it. Thanks.
Why we got a big...
Have a good night, Matt.
Have a good night, bro.
Hold on, Tyrone,
Bill around Sam. Bill around Sam.
As of 3 weeks ago.
I was prime time, but I'm just telling you, man. A lot of it was Sam, though, man. I want him to succeed, but if we got a chance to start, why? And if it doesn't work, a lot of his issues are Sam's issues. It's not just
how do we get back in this fucking nightmare? How are we back in this?
We were doing so good for an hour and a half. We were doing so good.
Bro, listen. He was killing me, bro. I was just no. And then we just got there, and then it just went left. Bro, I'm sick of this.
I've been trying to avoid this all fucking night.
Fucking all week, bro. Every week. This it's like a buzzkill, bro. You know what I'm saying? It just killed the whole vibe, man. Oh my God, Sam. No, man. Shit. I just can't believe it's over.
2 months?
A couple of minutes.
Listen, man, I made a concerted
free agency in the draft and everything else.
Prime time. I made a concern. I started the show off talking about linemen, talking about pass rushers, running back, anything but quarterback. I tried my best to avoid this shit tonight.
I didn't say Sam until this last call. I thought I was doing good.
Tyrone.
Hey, well, listen,
It's fucking Tyrone.
Yeah, he had to engage.
No.
That was the problem.
No, this is not Tyrone. Y'all not even blaming that bullshit on me, bro, because, your man just went. I thought he'd get a little 5-minute spiel. He went on a 20-minute spiel, then Primetime jumps in. No, we got to. No. Sam.
So, Tyrone, as we wrap things up, do you want to give any parting shots out there? And first of all, thoughts and prayers with your family, man. We had no idea, so.
Yeah, no, first of all, man, I appreciate all that, man. I appreciate the people that reached out to me, man, while I've been on the line. Thank you guys for, keeping my mind free and clear. But, the Most High has the last vote. So I think hopefully everything works out. But you know, like I said, man, I'm just looking forward to free agency, man. Looking forward to having more of these Sam Darnold discussions. And you know, prime time, man, for real, bro. You fucking killing me with this damn Sam Darnold talk, man. For real.
You're doing it to yourself because you're making it all about Sam when it's not. You're doing it to yourself.
Jesus Christ.
That's
prime
my
time, your thoughts.
Just thank you to everyone that joined us. You know, this past season, it was wild. You know, just talking from football to cooking, movies, music, drinking, everything, all the jokes. Had a blast. Excited for the off season. Excited to, you know, finally have some hope with Douglas and Salas. So I'm ready to get after it.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us at Talk Jets Radio, Instagram and Twitter. Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube. Thank God this fucking show is over. I'm so tired of this Sam Darnold bullshit. We'll talk to you guys next week.
This shit's annoying. Fuck, man.
Yeah. Sucks ass, bro. Sam Darnold
Later.
does no wrong.
Later, guys.
Later.